Right, we're in. Go away. Push. Boom. TP head. Morning, Aaron. I'm going to talk through your trade because I took the same trade as well. Once I finish this off. So that's done. Now I got in was here. No, wait. So you can see I top wicked it, but it didn't close out all my contracts. I'll show you why I was targeting there in a sec. We'll go through that. So I was a bit late into this one. Wanted to be in about here. That was where I was trying to get in. I was just late. Got in about. That's where I got in. As you can see. Not expecting us to go crazy, right? The 4 hours bearish, 6 hours bullish. So it was more of a sort of sweep this level, and then I'll show you what got us in. Is it just me and you? We can go through this, Aaron. So for a long time, I've been trying to build signals with footprint chart, but I've given up basically. I can't do it on TradingView, not yet anyway, maybe in the future. So it's just going to be something that is going to have to be a confluence. So let's have a look at that. Wait for it to load. What I really want to get into, my goal, what I really wanted to do to get into a signal was trap buyers, but I can't do it. So this is what a lot of people load up the footprint chart, and this is what they see. This tons of numbers. All right. So you can see here with these trap buyers at the top, these represent where buying pressure was stepping in. However, it couldn't overtake the sellers, and as you can see, even though there was more buyers than sellers on the delta, actually there might have been a limit order, or basically there was just sellers stepping in at this point and pushed the market down. However, there was an imbalance of buyers to sellers at this point on the footprint chart, which was 400%. So when I was looking to take this trade, that's where I was looking to target. So I had my target there. Also, when you look at the volume, right? So we've got on the 5-minute chart. Morning. Nice, Aaron. Nice. So if we look at that area on the 5-minute, right, we can see this is where the volume kicked in. Around here, that gave us this push up. So on the lower time frame, when we were retracing in, was looking to see sellers stepped in at this point and were unable to. Just looking for a tap back up into that imbalance, which you can see there on the 5-minute. So this is not. This is one of the signals, and then here on this trade, you can see we get this push down into these. We come flying back up and still unable to close below these levels. And obviously buyers step in, and this is where I was looking to get in with me stop just below the volume. Looking to come back up into these levels here. So you can see this fair value gap has had quite a strong, well, so you can see the volume inside the, actually inside the gap. Now here, when we stepped up and closed here, you can see that this is where most of the volume was. We'd already taken out, like there's not much volume in this level. So as soon as we were stepping up, as soon as we got to kind of here, that's why my stop went to break even, because I didn't want to see us come back below. So I used the footprint chart. Ideally, my favorite setup is at the alpha boxes, is looking for trap buyers, which is always great. That sort of step up into the alpha box. We've got an imbalance there as well. Buyers step in but can't push price up, and then obviously they're now trapped at the top, and then you see that push down. But I can't turn it into a signal, which is what we've been working on for ages, seeing what we could do about it. So obviously you've got your fair value gaps. So how do you know whether your fair value gap signal is any good? Well, you use volume to confirm where on the candle, because obviously sometimes you'll have a fair value gap where the volume isn't in the gap. All it's showing you is that there was a imbalance between buyers and sellers, and that's why you've got a candle that pushed up. But what you want to confirm is where's the volume within the gap, right? So where is the volume? Because you need to make sure that when you're when we're looking to take a trade out of it, just because it closes above or below the fair value gap doesn't mean that that's where all the volume was. Sometimes it's at the top. So it can help confirm signals as well. Right, let's come off this chart and go back to the normal chart. I don't do my analysis on it, I use it for entry. part of confirming the entry, that's all. But it's really, I like to keep things simple. Morning, Peter. You all right? So ideally, I'd rather it being a signal than having to show people what it is. But I can't do it. So we've got signals. As TradingView develops in the future, we'll try and improve. We'll try and obviously incorporate that into the signals. Hey, Mark. So annoyed that I didn't get a full fill on this one. I had 10. I had 10 micros on. It looks like I didn't even fill. Yeah. That's a pain. Because it was a decent move. I think it was about... Let's have a look. Yeah, it's just about 15 points. So move out of the way. We've had this big push up. This was a beautiful trade down. Just before the open it was, I think. It was great. Trap buyers, real strong trap buyers in there, and then we just plummeted. So we'll see how we react off this VIB, where the volume's kicked in. A little bit lower. Nice tap. How's everyone doing this week? That was a nice reaction. We're failing to come back above the zero line. Oh, that's amazing, Aaron. Yeah, it is slow so far today. Might just do 2 minute, 5 minute. Oh, I missed this one out of the 4 hour. I missed this one as well. I was, yeah. If we lose this 6 hour, I just think we've just put in our 15-minute low. So our 15-minute low is in here. There's our 15-minute high. And we hardly retraced back into the area. So I mean, we don't have to, but nice reaction. So if you were looking at this area here, right? So say for example, right, we'll just move this trade. So if you're looking at this area and saying, okay, we've got this big fair value gap. Right. Where, you know, where can we expect potentially to see a reaction from? Like, buyers stepped in, but where did buyers step in? Where was kind of that area? Or how do we know if it's going to hold? Do you know what I mean? That sort of confirmation. And so what you'd really want to see is really strong selling step in, and then obviously just not being able to deliver, which we're not seeing. Here we go, starting to see selling step in, but it's not that strong, the volume. Do you know what I mean? It's just, this is the potential area. There's not much volume in here either. You can see most of it's selling. So it's like, if we're going to lose this, you know, like, this isn't really, you can see we're just dribbling through it. But this would be the area where we're looking for alpha box plus an imbalance, where potentially we get a reaction from. So like for you, Aaron, where you're setting limit orders on the alpha box, right, it can be a great way to look at where you want to set your limit order potentially. But yeah. Unfortunately, TradingView doesn't allow us to utilize that chart to create indicators, because I really wanted to build that in, you know, like around areas around alpha boxes, that sort of thing, to help confirm entries. But it is what it is. I'll just do loads of videos on it. Yeah, I was going to say gold's pretty bullish. Nice push back up and a tap in. So gold ticks are obviously a lot bigger than NQs, so we can make it one tick. So we can see when we came above the alpha box, this is where the volume kicked in, right? So where do we want, if we want to go long out the alpha box with this breakout, this is where we want to be covering, and we don't want to see it closing below this level. Don't get me wrong, there's alright volume at the bottom as well, right? That kicked in here to push us up, but there can be great little sniper entries, especially for scalping, right? We can see that on the 5 minute. Right. Last sort of volume. Not much bullish volume in this candle, right? The bright blue's the main bullish volume. Let me just clean it up, actually. I don't normally have these on. So we can see most of the volume kicks in and down here. Right, bullish volume kicks in. This is where we see sort of more bullish volume. So when we come down, this would be our last point of where we're looking to see bullish volume kick in. Even if there's higher delta, so if there's negative delta and price pushes up, that's great. It means that there was more sellers, but they weren't able to push the price down. And we can see here was a period of high selling, potentially where we're coming into, and buyers are trying to step in. But we don't want to use this to constantly read our narrative. We want to use it to, when we get to an area, then look for confluence in taking our entry and stop loss and potential areas where we want to watch. Not to sit here and go, we're going up, we're going down, we're going up, down. Yeah, well, I've only just brought in profile on TradingView in the delta as well, which is nice. Not well, it's not only just, but it's been a bit of a while. I really wanted to create this, the whole sort of trap sellers and trap buyers out of alpha boxes, but I can't yet signal off it. Because the more accurate we can be with our stops, the less our entries and our stops, the less distance price has to go for us to achieve our risk to reward, which I think it's really good at helping with. That's a typical. The only thing you'd have wanted with this is ideally the body of the candle to be lower, right? So to see those sellers step in right at the top of the wick, price push it back down again. That's what we want to see. Buyers, sorry. We'd want to see buyers step in at that point, not sellers. So like here, good example, right? Inside this, got this lot of volume around here. Sellers step in, and then they can't, at that same area, they can't take price lower. So we build confluences with our narrative, areas, points of interest, etc., right? Alpha boxes. So we know that volume area, right, was what we were looking at. So why would it only tap this part of the fair value gap and not that other part, right? That's can help you know where, if you're going to take a trade out of a fair value gap, or if you're going to inverse it, where would you want it to hold up, right? So of the fair value gap, this is your fair value gap, right? So what area of that really do you want price to kind of hold? And it's this. It's really just sort of here, really, but that's where you want price to hold of it, if it's going to hold anything. If we lose that, then you want to see it react out of here. But there ain't that much volume on today anyway. Volume's been really low today. You can see that on NQ. And then it's, so you've got your narrative of where you expect price to hold, right? So we took this area inside of our 6 hour. You can see price comes back into. Right, we come back into this area. We don't get, I mean, the volume's so low anyway, but we start getting selling, but unable to push it down. And then we come and take out this sort of area of selling that's been pushing it back. But it's a bit chip shot in this area anyway. So what we've done with the signals is we've tried to make the signals kind of cover for that with the fair value gaps. So we've got two different types of well, three different types of signals. One's for lower time frame, one's for higher time frame, which is what we've been working on all week, which is why we're knackered. And then another one for alpha boxes, which we've just got one thing to fix on it, I think, potentially. Yeah, I mean, you can look at the candles are just like this is cleaner, right? Cleaner direction. And then lots of chop. A little bit more confidence in these candles now at the end, but still. Let's check ES. So pretty good bullish structure. Coming into our previous day. So it's still fairly corrective after this drop down. Come quite high up. Let's go on the 15-minute chart. Just going to turn off market structure. And let's do the same thing again, right? So we've come up into this fair value gap, where we've pushed down. Fuck's sake. We can see most of the volume is at the back. There's a bit of imbalance here, but most of the volume kicked in when we pushed through, and then obviously that's why we had that push down further. So you can see we came back and rejected off that, and then we broke through it. I like this area more. Where we got our alpha box. I could just set this to be right instead of being a knob doing that. Don't want the midline. So then, like on NQ yesterday, we can match up areas of confluences with where we've been. So like on the daily, bollocks. Get rid of them now. I think the first 12 hours yesterday was really good, so here's our 12-hour, right? So we can see we had areas of, should I increase it further? Let's have a look. Yeah, so we had some volume kick in here. This is before New York. And then obviously we've got areas here, right? So when we were looking at yesterday's plummet, we could look for areas potentially where we might see volume kick in and alpha boxes step in. Interesting, a lot of sellers stepped in around here. Couldn't push price back up, so I'm wondering whether this will be an area where we'll see volume kick in again. So you can see there was negative delta yesterday, but weren't able to hold price in the New York candle. Price still pushed up. So you can just match up. The whole point is about finding an area, finding an area where price could return or reject from, right? And then confirming that rejection on the lower time frames. So we can see now, are we going to start losing the 6 hour? Let's see. Need to come off this footprint chart now. That's enough of that. Send your heads west. So ideally, I'd like to see a close below here. Switch the 6 hour. We are looking nice and bearish. But right now, so this is our, we're talking about this is our 15-minute low and also our 6 hour low. So our 15-minute high. I really like the way we're looking down. Could just be a drop, this one, where we just plummet for about so this is our, there's a previous 6 hour. See what we got. Still not even close. We need to see even this one here, right, to get a close below. But we haven't seen that yet. Still just wicks. It'll be quick. So gold's come back into our 4 hour. Shit. So nice, came back into our volume. This is where we expected, where we drew it out, right? This is where we expect the volume to kind of kick in our alpha box. Not much volume in this candle either, in terms of what could stop it. Be around this sort of level again. You can see where the buying stepped in and it couldn't push it higher. But yeah, that's where would have been a nice limit order, right? And then you can, we're still not getting much sticking in for either side really. But that's how we confirm, like, if we're going to take a fair value gap, is there anything in it for us to want to? Because even like here, you can see there's nothing in this gap. It's just indicating that there was an imbalance between buyers and sellers. But you need to confirm that. Right, where was the imbalance of buyers and sellers? Or where might there be sellers wanting to step in, right? Where might there be buyers wanting to step in? We can't see everything. It helps a little bit, right? But it's not the be all and the end all, but it helps. So even if you were looking to take that entry, you could have taken your limit order here, and you've got this volume below, right, kicking in. So even if you could either decide you wanted to cover tight or cover wide. Yeah, and this is where the sort of volume, the buyer's kicking in, but sellers stepped in to push it down. So you'd be looking around here as watching how price reacts from it. But you could be break even on that trade straight away anyway, as soon as it's come out like this. You don't want to see price come back through. So say, for example, you were looking to take this trade now, right? Well, we know this is a potential area. We've just been on to see, well, this is the area we really need to be careful of, right? So this is great, but if we can't get past this volume here, which has pushed us down, then could be an issue. Volume imbalances are that. They're showing you where volume kicked in, ideally. So nice bounce out of here. What I was saying about this 15-minute being in, doesn't feel much of a retracement. Well, it isn't much of a retracement, is it really? Out of that, this is our 5-minute high. 6 hours bullish, it's our 6-hour low. So 4 hours bearish. Man. Not much going on. Gold's probably the only one where we're right up inside this daily level. Like to see us come to there. Still bearish. Do we want to trade a bounce out of here? Oh my god, my phone's going. Won't be a sec, just in case it's school. Johnny. Hi mate, you alright? Oh, you alright? Yeah, fine, thanks. Okay. Amazing. I think it'll go through to Dad's, not me. Yeah. Yeah, it's on the bottom of the website. Yep. Yeah, VAT, you need the VAT ID. Yeah, it's on the bottom of the website. Yeah, goes on his app. Any issues, let us know. Alright man, take it easy. Bye. Sorry about that. Doo-doo. Are we going to ping pong? What do you reckon? Oh. It's nice. Load of buyers stepping in. We're just too close to this range. Oh. I don't know whether I fancy a little stab at this. Volume's really around here. We are bullish again. Wondering whether that's just going to push through. Nice start. Alright. Here we go. buying and buying, but it's our market structure is obviously here. We've come up. We are bearish in overall, but not strong reaction out. Volume's kicking in. I feel like we're going to push through this, but just watching the 5-minute on the other screen. Yeah. Which is a good sign. I like a little push out of here. So 4 hours holding, but I like the 5-minute. We are looking strong to push out. Oh, hang on. Looking at the wrong one. I like MNQ. So if we can hold this area, be interesting. Nice. Push down. just so tight in between this 6 hour and the 4 hour. But we are closing below those levels, which is good. I'm on the fucking 5 minute. It's too high, dickhead. So, yeah. So that's what we want to see out the level, like that. Fucking, I was sat on the 5 minute over it. So, nice clean, buyer stepping in, nice bearish candle. Now we are tight between these two, so I'm not saying that's a trade you're going to take, but that's kind of what you're looking for out of your zones. When we're looking at alpha zones, we're looking at where sellers are stepping in, which we've seen from over here, right? This area's been defended. We come back in, buyers step in, and then we're unable to push it back up. But the problem is we are trapped between this range. So we are very tight, and we're currently at the top of the current range, being here. See how we're rejecting out of each one. I mean, we would, market structure wise, we would expect this to hold and for us to push further down, right? Because we've been doing that. Higher high, lower high, higher high, lower high, higher high, lower high. It's a wick, I don't count that. Da, da, da. So we've been pushing down. This is our 15-minute low. Failed to take the high, wicked above. Failed to take the low. Feels bullish to me, that push out, but it'd be good to see it get above the 4 hour and that area where we've been rejecting from, potentially can step in. Or I'm looking for us to get close above, tap back in, and then maybe a trade between these two zones. I'm going to look for something like this potentially. Remember, this is where that volume was kicking in, right? Can see the 1 minute dynamic TPs coming towards that zero line as well. So it would be a nice push to get over. It might be that this is all about waiting for that 4 hour candle to end. Because the 6 hours bullish, the 4 hours bearish. So if this 4 hour candle ends, then obviously the high can go. right now we're just seeing the absorption of buyers when they come into this area. Come on. If it's going to get through, it needs to be a big push. There we go. Keep going. So I want to try and get a second order in. So I'm in 86275. Was here. So this is a potential good area to add. Let's refine that. Well, it's really around here. There. No. Stop. Really want to see. Let's come below that. Really want to see us bounce out of this zone here, really. So I think we're going to try and add. I'm being a little bit aggressive. Right. So now with my ad, I'm at 864.75. And I'll put stops to break even on that one as well now. I want to see that volume hold. And then I'm going to take some off here where we've struggled with. So we can see obviously we're back into that previous alpha box, that previous area where we've been rejecting. Which is why I'm at break even. So still in. 865 was kind of where I wanted to hold. There's a little bit more down as well, but I didn't add as many contracts just so we didn't get pulled up as high, so that I could go break even. Not looking good though. Might come deeper back into this area, and we'll look to go again. Right, that's stop out, break even. See how we react here. Push all the way through. There's no trade. Well, we tried with the crossover. There you go. I'll show you how we played it. So like I said, we added here, we entered here, we added here, we then moved our stops to break even here. So we tried to play the breakout, which is fine, but we managed risk. Like I said, if those levels went, the reason why I went break even, because if those levels went, that's why I was expecting that we then maybe come to our next one and we can see about potential trade out of there. Our 4 hour is bullish, it's bearish. So we got 20 minutes until the next 4 hours over. So got to be careful when the time frames, you know, when you're playing against the time frame. So that didn't hold, just went straight through. Yeah, break even on that trade. Where's my other trades? Are they on NQ? Yeah. That would have been a nice tap back in. Bearish as well on dynamic TP. That'd have been a nice trade. We were playing NQ though. So we can see that level. We got the reaction out of that level, right? So we got the reaction out of that level. And then obviously once we'd done that, price came back to it. There was, and we'll come straight through. When we come straight through, we can then expect potentially that tap back in and continuation. Just wondering now we'd come up into that higher time frame zone, whether I'm being a bit greedy waiting for it to come up to there, I don't know. We'll wait and see. What's CL up to? Oh, look at that. Beautiful trade back to the 6 hour and bounce out of that 6 hour. Wow. Four hours is bullish at this point as well, so 4 hour low. And then the 6 hour and the previous 4 hour. Structure's bullish as well, so here's the high, here's the low. You can see that we still line up perfectly. I don't tend to trade CL that much now, just because I'm not on the charts as much, mainly just focused on gold and NQ. If I get a sec. So we've updated these signals. These are not the signals that are coming out. My head is fucking pounded. Let's have a look. Choppity chop chop. Yeah, so we are more selling. It's too many. That's what we've been working on. It's too many, which we've done. So I don't need them anymore. Back to our 6 hour. Back to our ping pong area. Are we going to bounce out of this 6 hour again? So we got this Vib at the bottom as well. Let's see if we can hold this area. We are we're still bearish. Yeah, we're not able to go over the zero line, but it's 6 hours bullish. We know 6 hour low, 6 hour high, 4 hours bearish. Who's going to win? Six hour tried and has failed. 4 hour. It's pushing it. Nice tap of the VIB. Dynamic TP changes. Could be the push through. Is the 4 hour going to win? Come on. Oh. Plenty of selling. Getting bought up. Could be a nice, if we're going to tap carry on down, could be a nice little tap. Obviously we've just been so choppy in this range since I came on, right? Top of the range, bottom of the range, so good bit of volume here as well. I think push through it now. Push, push, push. Tap. One or the other. A minute. We're either looking short or we're looking long with structure. This 4 hours held up nice. You see if these buyers, see if it's going to pull it back. So let's look at see what happens here. So around the 360. I like this. I like this 15-minute to hold, pull back higher up, but we are struggling even to get away from it, right? So we've literally put it in and then bounced around down here, but it's our 15-minute. Not quite. Stupid mouse. Could. Oh. You know what? It's worth a go, innit? Let's put less contracts on there. 3, 7. Or is it this fib just stopping us? Just wanted a wick. Obviously this is sort of where I'd be looking first, around here. See a reaction off of these lows, but then potentially we could leave one run in. Oh, just push down. Oh. Not sure we want to get tagged in now. The red box, this one. Here. Yeah, it's 6 hour. There's our 6 hour and then the 4 hour. We've just been playing this battle of bullish 6 hour, bearish 4 hour. This yeah. There's a level I wanted to see us push through here, really. So I don't really like where we are now. Yeah. Great. So when we push back down, I wanted to see us go through that level. Really should have taken the limit order off, but we're in. Yeah, we're going to get taken out straight away. So we were in at here 37.75, something like that. No. 38.75. 46. So there's stop. Pretty much going to get taken out. We just hold this level again. We were looking at this 6 hour. Just came all the way down, and then when this pushed and we didn't go through, limit order should have been off. But we'll see whether we can get out. Right, that'll do. Out. So I've closed it here. I like this ping pong. So it was this, I'll show you now. We're off on here. So when we came back down in, and then the sellers, we had this selling step in and immediately bought it up. That was, as soon as I saw that we couldn't push through, that's why I wanted to take the limit order off. I didn't, should have, didn't. And I was just looking to cover this bearish volume here, which is why I had to stop like that, just covering that bearish volume, just to give me a chance that if we do come through, something might push it back down. But yeah, as soon as we came back to this level, and you can see we react off it. When we came pushing in here, just sellers stepped in, immediately got bought up. And at that point there, you wanted that through it. When we didn't tap up and came back into it, it wasn't. Opposite's happening. Plus the narrative with the 15-minute, right? So we're probably going to come all the way back up now. Probably going to come all the way back up. Back to the 4 hour. Just have to wait. Just have to sit and wait now. So we're out. Took a small loss on that one. So we've had the a win. Where was the other trade? So we had a win, took a loss there. Yeah, so those two. And then BE and a small loss. Gold, dude. No. I don't think there's going to be anything for us to do. We're just going to have to wait till later. Like I said, we've got CPI today, so not a great day. Bing, 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 bing. I think I might get to work. Start getting some other stuff done. I think I'm sitting here looking at a range. I've got an alert on for gold. NQ, I'll wait till New York. Mind you, investment is not doing anything. Yeah, I might just call it a day. I've had 2 good trades. CL's been the cleanest so far that we've seen. Right? CL's been nice and clean. Off of our 4 hour. 4 hour went bullish. 4 hour low. Previous 4 hour. Yeah. Down we come. Yeah, I'm gonna go and get some work done. Call it a day. Right, guys. We won't be as tired once we stop working all through the night trying to get this stuff done. It'd be nice to be on with the full system, which hopefully will be by the end of this week, which would be nice. Yeah. Right, I'll see you later.